Elon Musk and Don Lemon's hour-long interview has been released, and it's just days after we understood that, of course, the billionaire Elon Musk actually cancelled the CNN's alums partnership with X. In it, well, the interview kind of discussed a wide range of topics. Musk's commitment to free speech, for example. Take a listen.
I'm here, as you know, I'm on the platform because you say you're a free speech absolutist, right? And there are no conditions?
Yeah. Free speech is as much as possible within the bounds of the law.
Yeah. So the reason I'm saying that is because there are no conditions on this interview. You said that, we'll speak to you for an hour. I don't like sound bites, so I welcome that. So let's get into it.
I'm on the platform, but then not on the platform. And actually, it was very hard to watch the interview on the platform for the first hour or so. Let's bring in Bloomberg's Kurt Wagner, who has watched part of it. And I mean, from the get-go, it was an awkward conversation. The key takeaway for some, and certainly investors in Elon's publicly traded companies, are, well, the way in which he's sort of vindicating his use of ketamine, for example.
Yeah, that was a very tense exchange, I thought. They talked about, Elon talked about his prescription for ketamine. He, of course, said he doesn't abuse it. He uses it because of, a doctor's advice, and that he sort of suffers at times from depression or sadness. And so he also kind of pushed back very, very briefly. He was like, asking someone about a personal prescription is a pretty private thing to ask. And he kind of, pushed back on Don Lemon's question there. But it was just very interesting to see him sort of challenged on this reported drug use, right? And Don Lemon asked, is this going to impact your contracts with the U.S. government? Does this impact your decision-making, your tweeting? And so that, as you can imagine, was a rather tense exchange pretty early on in the conversation, which sort of sets the stage for a tougher conversation.
I mean, Don Lemon went on to give his own views on why his show has been cancelled on the platform, him saying that Musk disliked his line of questioning. Meanwhile, Elon Musk himself is saying, look, basically, this isn't what we envisaged. It's just CNN, but on social media. So reading between the lines, what does this mean for X's push to being a video-first platform, to getting these sorts of top talent to come on and give them content?
Well, I would say Don Lemon was probably the headline of this entire push. We saw at CES in January, they came out and announced, a small handful of new shows and how they were, as you said, kind of pivoting to video, making that a priority. But when their, top or perhaps most well-known partnership falls apart before it ever really gets going, and when Don Lemon is out there saying the reason it fell apart is because I can't actually ask hard questions of the sources that I want to ask, it definitely does not bode well for, one, the push to video in general, but also Elon's stance on free speech.